everybody. I see a lot of familiar faces here, and some new faces I haven't seen yet. As Sue said, I'm Erik Schubach. I've written a few books, published a few books, and have successfully made a living at doing that. One of the hardest parts of writing your book is not writing the book. I mean, it's actually marketing that book afterwards and marketing yourself. I would say that writing a manuscript is only half of the equation. As indie authors, we have to get our books out there to get recognized in a sea of people out there that are releasing books in our genres. Also, as an indie author, it's very hard to free up capital to be able to market. And so I kind of picked a couple topics here in marketing. I mean, there's endless topics to kind of go over. One of them is going to be social media, and the other is vendor tools, which helps you with your promotions more than you can imagine. And most of this stuff is free or very, very little cash outlay. You'll run into a lot of people who say, hey, I'll put your book in front of 50,000 of my followers, you know, for $250, you know, that type of thing. Those are all scams. I mean, if it seems too good to be true, it is too good to be true. And if you're going to be spending money on actual advertising through like Amazon and whatnot, they don't care if you're successful or not. They just want that revenue that you're going to give them. And unless you are well, you know, better known, spending that money is not really going to do much for you that you can't do it in other ways that are free. Like I say, most paths to marketing find little or no return on your investment. I'm a cheapskate. I admit that freely. If I can do something for free or cheap, that's going to accomplish the task at hand. That's what I'm going to do, rather than spending money and not see a return on that investment. I like to call that oblique marketing. You know, so I'm approaching things at a different angle than most people do. Trying to think here. You know, the biggest source of income for me is through social networking. And that's a dirty word for most people. They don't like, you know, social networks. They don't want to be on them. It makes them uncomfortable. But the problem is, if you're not there, you're not going to be able to grow your presence. I don't like being on social media, but I am on social media prolifically. I'm always there, speaking with fellow authors, speaking with readers, joining readers groups or writers groups, either or. And when you do that and you insinuate yourself into the community, you know, make friends there, make your presence known without pimping your books, you know, just, you know, be part of that community. And once you're part of that community, people are more receptive to you bringing up, oh, hey, by the way, we were talking about dragons and, you know, today online. I happen to have written a couple dragon books if you guys want to check them out. You know, they're a lot more receptive to that than the old, you know, drop a link and run. You know, that's can get you banned on certain groups, as a matter of fact. But word of mouth is the most powerful tool that you have. If somebody has a even smaller or a larger following than you, and they mention, hey, check out this person's book, more people are going to be looking at your books, and that in turn turns into sales. I'm trying to think here. And refusing to go on any particular platform because you think they're evil, or you just don't like them, or you don't understand them very well. Like X, which is Twitter. you're cutting off yourself from revenue. You know, put your personal opinions aside for these things. If you want to be successful as far as bringing in money, supporting yourself on your books. For every hour that I write, I spend 1 hour marketing my books and myself. And I always bring that up, and myself, because that's just as important as your book. When you have hundreds or thousands of authors competing in the same genre as you, how are people going to remember you? I mean, if you write a good book, yeah, that's good. But if they remember your name, they say, yeah, you know, hey, I know that person, you know, I remember this person. They're more apt to look at future books. I kind of threw that around going, well, how do I get myself noticed? And so I came up with a novel idea, I hope. I have an imaginary pet platypus, Frank. And Frank is always getting into mischief. He's releasing like sneak peek cover reviews or cover views, or he's doing competitions, or just making fun of me online, you know, that type of thing. And so when people see my name associated with a new book, they don't go, who? They go, oh, the platypus guy, you know. And just because of that silly little thing, I've made myself memorable to people, not necessarily because of my books, but because of the platypus. And so now they're more willing or more apt to look at the book and purchase the book. So think of some way that you can make a point of difference with yourself, not just your books, and sales will follow. Trying to think here. I'm not very good with the speaker, as you can tell here. Let's see. Use the tools that every vendor or every website that you're on provides you. Most of them are free tools. And if you use them right, you can, again, make a point of difference between you and others. As an example here, let's go to, we'll go to Kindle here. And Kindle, under marketing, they have two styles of marketing. They have the passive marketing, and then they also have their active marketing. And the active marketing is all the stuff that goes with their KDP Select, which are going to be like your countdown deals, your giveaways, you know, that type of thing. But they're not available to you unless you're in KDP Select. And if you do that, your books can only be on Amazon. You can't go wide, and that I don't like. And so to combat that and still be able to use their tools, what I've done is I've done book bundles, okay? Because every ASIN on Amazon, every SKU, is a different book to them. They don't care if it's the same book bundled with another book. That is a separate entity. And so I will take my little book bundles where I'll put like a book 1 or 2 in a series, put them together, put it onto KDP Select. Then I'm able to use those countdown deals. I'm able to use the giveaways. I'm trying to think here. My other books, my individual books, I can still post wide. I can put on every platform out there because it is not that AISN or ASIN. And trying to think here. And then there's this thing called A+ content that virtually no authors know about that Amazon offers. On KDP here, you notice there's this A+ content in their marketing. And what that does is it allows you to add content to your book page on Amazon. So you can add graphics, you can add information about yourself or information about your book series, or if there's any other related materials, and that's separate from your book description. And by doing that, you're providing readers more of a insight into what they're getting into when they're getting into your book. And I can show you how that actually works here. Let's see, I should have Amazon loaded here somewhere. Let's see, right there. Okay, as an example here, on my author page here on Amazon, if you go into like, let's pick a book that doesn't have, like here. Okay, this book here I haven't put any A+ content on yet. And when you look at it, it's just your basic book description, you know, everything that you're used to seeing, you know, the other, the other books that are associated with it and whatnot. And you go to the bottom, and you get to your reviews. So that's just what you see as a standard book on Amazon. However, if we go back here and we go to like my Elton, New York here, and here I've added A+ content, and what that looks like, I've got my standard description like everybody else has, but then when you go down further, suddenly I've got this. I've got these graphics, my Elton, New York universe that I'm laying out, showing that there's 2 series. You know, there's the Elton, New York series with the Coven Tales and a little bit about myself. You know, all of that was added using that A+ content, which is free. So if you're on Amazon, use that. Use that to, you know, to the extreme. I stumbled into it about a year ago, and I've got 193 books, and so I haven't gotten to all of them yet, but I'm slowly but surely adding A+ content. And for the books that I have added A+ content, I've seen about 10% increase in sales. And because, once again, that gives more information to the reader. The more they know, the more they know if they want your book or not.
Now, I have a question.
Sure.
Real quick. This is you do this from your author page?
No, you do this from KDP.
From KDP.
KDP,
okay.
Which is where you list all of your Amazon books.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
No, I meant on KDP.
Yeah, on KDP. Let's go back to there. I'll show you where it's at here.
Yeah, I didn't get to it.
Okay, I'm on KDP here, and at the very top, up there, you'll see that it lists your bookshelf, your reports, your community, and your marketing. You'll want to hit marketing, and that will bring up all your different marketing stuff here.
Oh, okay.
And then down below is A+ content.
Okay.
And right above A+ content is Amazon ads. Oh, yes.
This gentleman needs a couple vehicles moved, so we need to track that out of the shed or something.
The F-150 Ford, red one, and the silver Buick right out front, right back here.
What kind is the red one?
The red truck, F-150.
Oh.
But there's a person probably in it.
Pardon?
There should be a driver in it,
There should be.
should be.
Oh. Well, let's see, but the silver one has to move, I'm trying to get
Yeah,
my
she's
track.
coming. Sitting there in the car, sleeping. I invited him to come here.
Sorry.
Okay. And right above the A+ content, you'll see Amazon ads. Don't do that. Don't spend the money. Don't waste your money. You will waste your money because you can do the same thing that does for free again. Well, not free. I should rephrase that. For about $5, you can do the exact same thing. And what that is every time that I release a book, every single time, once the book goes live, the very first thing I do is I buy my own book, and I buy the #1 book in that category at the time. Okay, and what that does is within 2 or 3 days, on that #1 book, down below where it says people who bought this also bought, there's my book. Okay, so my book is being shown on the #1 book page, and I didn't have to pay for Amazon ads to do that. You know, and you'll never see a return on investment on your Amazon ads.
Yeah.
You know, but they don't care again. Once again, they don't care. They got money from you, they're happy. You know, it's like, they'll talk about ROI to you all day long, except for they can't ever show you on your own books that you can get that ROI. Sure, a mid-list or a A-list author may see a huge return on investment on Amazon ads because people know them. But if they don't know us, you're not gonna see a return. Yeah. And like I say, you can do it for like about $5 anyway, just by buying the ebook of the #1 book in your category. And I can show you what that looks like too. Let's see here. Find my Amazon again. Boy, getting old sucks. It's hard to see everything. Let's see here. After digital. Where did it go? I lost Amazon. Okay, so we'll add another one. Yeah, Frank ate it. Oops. And that's what I could spell. Why is it not entering? Okay. What that looks like, well, we'll go to Elft again here. And they put that also bought, it's random when they put it, you know. It used to be on every single book page, but now they're trying to force people over to the Amazon ads, and so it only happens like once every 4 or 5 times, but still, that's great. And where that's located is gonna be right there. Customers also bought or read, and you'll notice other, a lot of books of my own there, but other books, here we go, that's better, from other people in my genre. Most of them, if you look at them, some of them have 13 or 1,200 reviews and stuff, so they're a well-known author, and they're showing up here. It would be the same if you bought their book. You would be there on theirs. Let's see what else here. A lot of people will either love or hate Amazon. Amazon is evil. They are. They're out to make a buck. And they don't care if they make that buck off of the readers or off of the authors. One way or another, they're getting money from you. And so some people, I've heard, Amazon's evil. I'm not going to put my books on Amazon. And that means that you're not wanting to be successful. Amazon is the #1 book sales online. Okay, you're not gonna find anyone else that sells more books than Amazon. They're going to be about 60 to 90% of all of your sales. So if you think they're evil and you're not gonna list there, that means you do not wanna be successful selling your books. Sell your books in all platforms. Ebooks, paperbacks, hardcover, audiobook, whatever you can, because the more you have out there, the more likely people are going to buy things from you. But don't limit yourself to Amazon. That's another thing on the flip side of the coin that I hear people saying, oh, I don't want to go on to Barnes & Noble, their website, because I only sell 5 books a month there. You know, it's a waste of my time. And it's like, how is making money a waste of your time? Listing a book takes less than 15 minutes on any platform. I don't care what platform it is. You fill out a form. You do it once. You don't do it every time that you sell a book. You do it once and just let it sit there. If you sell 5 books a month on 10 platforms that aren't huge, that's 50 books a month. 50 books a month is an average of about $175 a month you're throwing away. You're throwing away over $1,000 a year because you don't want to be on the smaller platforms. Be everywhere you can be. I mean, like I say, it costs you nothing to be at these places, so be there, make money, and if somebody is looking on a platform like an aggregating platform, let's say Smashwords. Okay, Smashwords, they don't really sell, I mean, they do have their own marketplace, but they don't really sell to the public. What they do is they list on all the different platforms, like Amazon or Apple, whatever. And what they can do for you is they can put you on streaming services, on subscription services, most importantly at libraries. Okay, libraries are huge because people will check out your electronic copies of your book. You get paid for it. They like it. What happens? They want to buy any sequels, they want to buy other books from you at that point, if they're not on the library system. And what I do is I will put every book that I have in a series, except for the last one, in the library system. Okay, and then I see a lot of sales of that last book. And it's because they can't get it through the library. And I do the same thing with the book bundles I mentioned. I'll put out book bundles that are either 2 or 3 books at a time, but I never put out a whole entire series in the book bundles, which you can read for free through Kindle Unlimited, which you only get, what is it, 1/1000th of a penny per page. You know, you don't get paid hardly anything for them. But if you don't give them the whole entire series that they can read for free, like that, those last books that you left out, people are buying. And these are just passive marketing techniques here to make money. Trying to think here. Talk about Signature Select. And speaking of aggregators, Smashwords, who is actually owned by Graph2 Digital, they've merged now. They have marketing tools too. They have giveaways that you can set up. They have coupons you can set up. They have limited sales you can set up. So like if you say, for the first 100 people, you can buy my book for $1. And they will automatically shut it off after how many books you specified that you wanted to sell at that price. Once again, that's free. Use the free. Free is great. There's other sites that people don't think about, like All Author. Let me find that one here. I should have it. Is that it? Nope. Can't find it, so we'll just go to it. And allauthor.com is basically a marketing website for your books. It's where people can go, they can look at your offerings and then go to a site like Amazon to purchase them. They charge for this service, but I'm a cheapskate. I do their 4 free books, and I take my 4 most popular books and I list them there for free. And then they have a second thing here. So let's see if I can find my books here, my profile. Oops, wrong one. View profile. Okay, and here's my my page on All Author, and it has my 4 most popular books there. And you'll notice I always put my first book in a series for 99 cents after I put the second book out, because that gets people to, I'll try a series for $1 just to see, and if they like it, then they can buy my other books at full price. But this is all free here. I've got this available for anyone to see, but then they have a contest, which is, let's see here. Cover of the month. They have a cover of the month contest, and whether you think your cover can win or not, put it there, because they have hundreds of people going in, voting on these covers, seeing these covers, seeing your book, thinking that looks interesting, buying your book. Every time that I enter the cover of the month contest, I see a little bump in sales across the platform, and it's like, why not? It's free, once again. I mean, use the tools that are out there that are free. When you do, like your own websites or your own blogs, use free software to do it.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Use free software, whenever you're doing anything like that. Yes.
You can finish explaining. I just, I see cover of the month romance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have a book coming out that actually covers 3 genres.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to go under each genre and put that cover in there?
They only do 1 genre per month, but let me show you some of the past ones here real quick. And so you just pick and choose. When you have one that's in the genre they're doing that month, throw it up there. And if it is in 3 or 4 genres, put it in any of them that you can. And nothing says that you can't put the same book twice, the same cover twice. You know, it's like I've got one cover I've submitted like 4 times, so it's not a big deal. So let's see, let's find the winners, right there, winners. Okay, here's the different years. Oh, no, gotta find where they list. I know they list somewhere the categories. Let's see here, contest. Cover that photo. Submission. Ah, here you go. Here's their listing of the different genres and entries at different times here. They go from mystery, thriller, children's fiction, romance, you know, sci-fi, whatever. You know, so when you find your category, submit your cover.
If you've got multiple books in the same genre, can you submit all of them?
No, one per person. Unless you got like 5 different pen names and then just make an account under each pen name, then you could do that, but yeah. And that brings up, yes?
How do you get to cover of the month? What is that part of?
That's part of allauthor.com.
What?
Allauthor.com.
It's right here.
And like I say, you can list 4 of your books for free on the platform, and then you can also do the cover of the month contest.
Did you say there was a charge to get into all?
If you want to put more than 4 books,
Oh.
and I don't want to pay anybody, so I can only do 4 books. I just do my 4 most popular books. Yeah, and that changes from time to time. If I get one that surpasses any of the others, and that's the new one that's going to be on All Author. Other websites that lots of people think is universally hated would be Goodreads.com. Again, I hate Goodreads.com. It is where all the trolls go to vent. It's terrible, but you have to be there. Once again, you got to put your personal feelings aside, be there, take control of your author page there. Don't let yourself get railroaded. A lot of people don't know that you can put external links. You can put just about anything you want on your author page there. So when you go there, you'll see most authors, they just have their picture and then their books. Some people figured out, oh, I can put a description, you know, I can put about the author type on there. And that looks pretty bland too. But when you realize that you can use just about any HTML into it, you know, you could design a web page on there almost. I link to all of my social media there.
On this site?
No, I'll show you. No, on
Goodreads?
on Goodreads. Yeah. And let's see. Why am I not finding all my links that I set up? Okay. So here's Goodreads. Let's go to my profile. Okay, and for most people, what you see right there is all they have on their author profile for Goodreads. However, oh, look at this. I just added all my external links to external websites, which Amazon, who owns Goodreads, and they don't like people to know that. They cringe when they see this, but they don't wanna stop it because it's supposed to be a community, site. And so they allow this, and then, oh, hey, I added a bunch of my bestsellers there too. And if you click on them, oh, it goes straight to the bestseller page here on Goodreads. And you can, read about it, you can see all the reviews, you can, and that's just using basic HTML. If you don't know basic HTML, there are so many super simple, easy tutorials on how to put a link on a page, how to put a graphic on a page. They're very simple, and by knowing that you can do that, so let me show you an example here. I'll hit edit, and that's the button that's right there available for everybody, but nobody sees for some reason. And in that, right in this area here that just flashed, that area there, I just put some HTML. I took over their site basically and displayed my stuff the way I wanted to see it, not the way they want to see it. Once again, Goodreads is evil, but you need to be there. And one interesting thing that you can do is they also allow you to put video links. So I've got like video links to some of my book trailers, you know, so if I tap on that. So I'm able to add video content to their website. Do it. It's
How
like,
do
do
you
it.
make your videos?
I make most of my own videos, but sometimes when I get lazy, well, here's one where I got lazy here. I went to Fiverr.com and paid, I think it was $13 to get this made. Let's see here.
Fiverr, right? That's when you're talking about.
Fiverr.com.
ERR, I got the double letter
Cinders and
wrong.
Ash, Urban Fairy Tales, Book 3 by Erik Schubach. Drawn to Seattle by the pool of black magics, Ella brings her wrath. A trail of...
But like I say, that's another marketing tool that you have, Fiverr.com. I mean, don't spend hundreds of dollars for a trailer. You could spend, you know, as little as $5, and sometimes I think the most I've ever paid there, I had an actual song from one of my books made into an actual song, and I threw it up on Amazon and iTunes as an Easter egg for my readers, because some of them looked for the song that was in the book, and they found it by the character in the book. You know, oh, you know, and I think I paid $45 for that. You know, yeah, I'm cheap. So, yeah, and think of things like that. Think of what you can do for as little money as possible, because paying for ads just doesn't work until you're well known. Let's see here. Oh. Set up a newsletter. If you have a blog or a personal website, set up a newsletter. Once again, that's free. I set up a email form that automatically signs people up to my, well, I'll show you. That signs people up to my newsletter. Yeah, we'll just do this. Right down here, you know, oh hey, you can opt in to my mailing list. Maybe. Yeah. If I can't tap on that for some reason. There we go. No, that's about me. What is going on here? Oh, there it goes. Okay, and this, is a list manager that's free, for me to do this. And once I have that, I use a newsletter, delivery service called, MailChimp. And MailChimp, if you have less than, I wanna say 600, don't quote me on that number, but I think if you have 600 people on your newsletter or less, it's free. Once again, free is good, free is your friend. If I go beyond that, then I'll sign up for the free amount on another website as well, you know, and I'll just split up my my list. But I've got only like 590 people on my newsletter list, but that's 590 people that almost buy every time. Every time that I do a new release, I send it out to my newsletter, and I see huge jump in sales at that. So use the free tools that are available to you. There's literally not enough time for me to talk about how many free things there are out there, and we're only scratching the surface here of the different types of things that I do, but these are the most important ones, I think, that you know, how I manage to market and promote myself and my books. If you have any questions about any of this, I guess that's about it, but if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer.
How do you feel about contests that charge you like $75 to enter a book or something like
Never,
that?
never, ever, ever.
Yeah.
Because if you're paying to go into the contest, then you're not getting a real result, okay? They say, oh, this is the book of the year for our contest. It's like, well, no, that's the book of the year of the people that paid you to be there. It's like, it's not gonna be the #1 sci-fi, it's not gonna be the #1 romance, it's not gonna be the #1 documentary, you know, it's gonna be #1 from that group that paid. It's like, same with awards. You know, when people say, hey, why don't you sign up for our award on this site? It's like, okay, great. You go in, you find out, oh, you gotta pay $25 to enter. Once again, you're not the #1 anything at that point. You're just #1 of the people who paid, you know. Now, if they say, hey, come on to this contest, it is free, just like that free book cover contest, free, you know. Now you're getting real results.
Are there many free contests? Because I looked for them.
There are
Actually,
tons.
like you are.
There are tons. Yeah.
Free stuff.
Yes, there are tons of free ones out there. If you join the forums on like Facebook for your genre, you know, readers groups, not writers groups, but readers groups in your genre, and the writers groups too, I guess. People will bring those up. People will say, hey, did you know there's this contest going on right now? And that's where I get most of my information, is from these groups that I'm in. I'm in probably 100 different writers or readers groups online. And people will bring things up like that. They'll say, hey, did you know that this is free right now? Did you know this or that? One thing that was brought to my attention through one of these groups was Ingram Spark. Okay, Ingram Spark, everybody knows that if you want to get your books into traditional bookstores, they have to be returnable. Okay, and the only place that does that right now, well, I shouldn't say the only, but the biggest place that does that right now is Ingram Spark, you know, because Ingram is one of the biggest distributors in the world. And it used to be that you paid $50 to list each book in the Ingram library. Somebody brought up, hey, did you guys know that they did away with that $50 fee? And I only had like 3 books there, and it was every time I had to do a book signing, I'd put one at Ingram Spark. But as soon as I heard that, I am now in the process of entering each and every single one of my books. It's gonna take me a couple of years to do it, because I only take a little bit of time to do that, but all of them are gonna be there now, so that like Barnes & Noble can buy a whole entire series from me instead of just the first book in the series.
So how do you do Ingham Sparks if your books are on, if you, publish them on Amazon?
If you publish them on Amazon and you did not do KDP Select, then you're free to publish wide. You can do anything you want. It's only the books that you put in KDP Select that you're not allowed to list anywhere else.
Well, then
Yep.
you have to have a separate ISBN, correct?
No.
Separate
Well,
ASIN, right?
No, it will have one, because Ingram Spark gives you a free one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, I fell into that trap before. When I first started, I was buying my ISBNs. Don't buy your ISBNs, anybody. That is a money trap. Do not do it. I even sprang for the 50, because one was like $250, or you could get like 50 of them for, I think it was $300 or $400. So I'm like, well, then why wouldn't I get the 50, But then I found out everybody gives away ISBNs. Every platform gives you an ISBN now, and it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And the only thing the ISBN does is it just says who the publisher is. Who cares if it says Amazon's the publisher, or Ingram's the publisher, or Barnes & Noble is the publisher? Who cares? If people are buying the book, they're buying the book. It doesn't matter who it says the publisher is, because you're still the publisher. Because it doesn't give them any rights to your book in any way, shape, or form. It's still your book. You have full control of it. And I was afraid at first that, wouldn't they have control of my book, and wouldn't they be the publisher? Wouldn't they? And they are not. And so I wised up and said, I'm not going to spend any more money on ISBNs, and I'm just going to get the free ones.
So, are all of your books self-published?
All my books except for one series was self-published. I traditionally published my Urban Fairy Tales series, but I quickly found that I make a lot more money self-publishing than any publisher could possibly give me. I don't care which publishing house it is. It could be the top publishing house or the bottom publishing house. They cannot give you how much you can make as a self-publisher. Perfect example. My Urban Fairy Tales, I was making 13.5% of net. Okay, not of gross, but of net, and that was my royalty. Okay, at Amazon on KDP, I make 70% of every sale.
That's the ebooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And paperback. You just take your
Printing costs.
printing cost,
Yeah.
and then you just multiply and you just make it the same
yeah.
margin.
Yeah.
Yep. And I make it doesn't matter what I sell. If I sell an audiobook, if I sell an ebook, if I sell a paperback, I make the exact same amount because I've made sure of it. I've made sure of that, and that's a trick since audiobooks, if you're going through Amazon, through Audible, ACX, you don't have any control over the price. They price them. But if you do things just right and make sure that that you tell your narrators, I need to hit this minute mark on the book, then you know exactly how much you're going to make, and then so you can make it so that no matter what copy of any book people buy from me, I make the same amount. Trying to think here. Yeah.
I've got two questions.
Okay.
The first one has to do with the return,
Mhm.
that when that happens. Does that come back to the author? I mean, does the author lose-
They have three things that you can do with it, and you mark down whether you want it returned to Ingram, whether you want it returned to you, or whether you want them to destroy in field. I just destroy in field. And people are like, well, I don't want to be charged back on these returns. That's terrible. It's like, well, wait a sec. You sell, even if you, a small amount, let's just do a small one. You sell 20 books. One gets returned. Oh, well. It's like, yeah, so that's going to ding you about, printing costs is right around, about $4 right now for a book?
Yeah.
The cost is about $4 a book. Okay, so you lost $4, but you gained, $60, $70, whatever, on those books. So returns are not a bad thing. I mean.
Cause I've been afraid of it for that.
Yes.
Yeah, me
but,
too.
But you still get returns at Amazon, you get returns at Barnes and Noble, you get returns everywhere. So don't be afraid of returns at the Ingram Spark. I mean, unless your book is so bad that you sell, that only one person out of 100 people keep the book, you know, you're okay. It's not gonna hurt you. It's
Well, my goal is to write a book that's so good that it gets banned.
Oh, then you'll make money. You'll make bank there then.
My second question has to do with a different marketing. And two of the people in my critique group have had success with this, including one who's about to go full-time because he's making that much. His gross was 90,000 last year, and that's Kickstarter.
No.
Well, I've got a campaign, that's about where you go.
You can make money doing Kickstarter, but there's a big thing. Most of the authors are going to shun you after that. Most other authors are gonna shun you after that, because you're asking people to pay you for something you haven't done yet. They're giving you money to write this book. You haven't earned that really, you know, because it's just people out of the generosity of their heart going, oh, aspiring author, we'll do this. Okay, the other authors fought tooth and nail to get where they are without asking people, please give me money for something I haven't done yet. Okay, and so you'll be basically blacklisted in the author community. You may be successful on Kickstarter doing that, but is it worth it if most of the authors online won't give you any help, won't talk to you about things or anything like that once they've learned that?
How do you feel about Patreon?
Patreon is awesome. Patreon is amazing. It's an amazing tool for people, once again, free. You can set it up to where you release a chapter a month of one of your books, let's say, or a chapter a week, or even a page a week, you know, on Patreon. People pay you for the content. It's not like Kickstarter where they pay you before the content. They pay you for the content at Patreon. So when you release a new page or a new thing, then they're able to see it, they're able to read it, and they pay you for it. You know, and so they can make subscriptions. They say, okay, I'll pay you $5 a month or $20 a month or whatever the author sets it up for. You know, and then you could feed them, spoon feed them a story. You know, whether it's by page or by chapter or whatever. And it is a phenomenal tool. It's a free tool. They make their money from taking part of the, just like Amazon, you know, they take part of the subscription price. If you can do that, that is great. Microsoft, or not Microsoft, Amazon tried to compete with that when they came up with the stupid idea of Vella. Vella, where you could get coins and you could use the coins to buy parts of books and all this. And oh, what a fiasco that was. I signed up for it for one reason and one reason only, and that was because they said they were going to give bonuses to the people, the early adopters of the authors. Okay, and so I did that and put out maybe 5 chapters, I think, is all I did. And the first month they gave every author like $500. The second month they gave all the authors $250. Then they gave them about $100, then $50, then $25. Then they didn't give you anything, and I took my book off of Vella. You know, because nobody used Vella. I had, I think when I pulled everything, I had 53 views. I can get 53 views here almost, you know. It's like, yeah, Vella was terrible because they thought they could compete with Patreon, and they could not compete with Patreon.
How do you spell Patreon?
REAREON?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and that's where anybody can put anything. It doesn't have to be books. It could be art. It could be videos. It could be anything like that, you know.
Big thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
I have a Patreon follow.
Oh, Patreon is phenomenal. And YouTube. Don't forget about YouTube.
Yes.
Never forget about YouTube. Let's see here. I should have that up. If I don't, let's type it again. Okay, YouTube is a tool not just for you, but for your readers, for word of mouth, for your fan base. As an example here, let's type my name in here. Oops, why is that typing? So, I've got, on there, different, interviews people have done with me on the radio, on, vlogs, just about anything you can imagine. I've got all of my trailers up there. Other people have made trailers, like this, Return of the Asgard here. I didn't do that. That was just a fan who made a trailer, and it gets your name out there. You know, so the word of mouth is everything. This original song here, called Throwaway, was a song in one of my books. And so this lady here, she actually made the song. And it got people interested, looking, buying that book. Trying to see what else I've got. I mean, I've got...
Could you play the song?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just her singing on her cell phone.
I pray one day you call out my name. Look up in me, not down in shame. Every tear I've cried, I wish I could erase.
But it just goes on like that, basically. But I've got, what I want to show you is, not seeing it here, just a sec here. Let's go with, get this out back here. Well, I've got fans that have made little movies of my books here. See if I can get this one to pull up. Come on. There it is. And it's not pulling up, okay. Why isn't it pulling up?
What if you don't like what they do?
Yeah, let's go back here, maybe it'll play here.
Just.
Oh, there we go. There we go. So it's like, I got people making movies, you know, and all of that turns into book sales.
Yep.
It's awesome. The other thing that people don't even think about that you can do, what's one of the biggest marketplaces online besides Amazon? eBay. Sell your books on eBay. Not only do I sell my books on eBay, but a lot of other people sell my books on eBay. If I go here, take a look at this. People are selling some of my books for $33, for $26. It's like, on eBay. Oh, there's one of mine, $6, $12, $21. It's amazing. I have one book that I made only 10 copies of, and it was the first 3 books of my Urban Fairy Tale series, and I had a leather-bound book made of the first 3 stories, and somebody put one of those up for sale for $500, and it sold. I didn't see anything from that except from when they just bought it. You know, they bought it originally, and so I saw maybe, you know, $15 for it. You know, but they sold it for $500.
Books on eBay, do you charge a regular amount, or do you jack it up a little bit?
Regular amount.
Okay.
Yep, because I don't ship it. If somebody buys a book from me on eBay, I just go on to my author account on Amazon, and I have it sent to them at the $3.20 it cost me. You know, so then I make more money that way than I made if I sold it on Amazon. And they handle the shipping, I don't handle the shipping, I don't gotta worry about it.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah. Yeah, once again, if you can do something for free or cheap, do it for free or cheap.
You got a lot of good ideas. How long is it taking you to figure all this out?
I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah, yeah.
I wrote my first book in 2013. I wrote it for my nieces, cause they didn't have any characters that they could identify with. And so, over a weekend I wrote the book and thought, hey, I can just publish it at Amazon and then I can get them a print book and hand it to them. Okay, and I didn't expect anything, you know, because I was just making it for my nieces that were only gonna be 2 copies ever in existence. I was just gonna hand it to them and call it good. By the end of the month, I had sold 10,000 books, 10,000 copies.
What?
And
Gosh.
so, Music of the Soul, my very first book. And I'm like, and it's not really very good either, you know. It's like, I look at it now, you know, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, but people love the story, they like the story. I don't have a professional editor, I don't have a professional anything, you know. My wife edits my books for me. We call her super edity person. That's another marketing thing we got going, is everybody loves super edity person, everybody loves Frank the Platypus, everybody, you know, it's like, and that's how I do this, you know. But I have a group of the most amazing beta readers ever. If you can get beta readers, get them, and if you get a good one, keep them and never share their name with anybody. I've had some stolen because, oh my God, I have this great lady, Marie, such and such, that does this. It's like suddenly, oh, she's doing their beta reading now, and it's like, okay, thanks. So now I just say, I've got great beta readers, and I call them super beta-y people. You know, so it's like, you know, always give them fun names and all that, so that people remember it. People are having fun. People are always doing this.
Do they read for free?
They read for free. Almost all beta readers will read for free. And what I do, and it's how I'm so prolific too, is I write 2,000 words a day, 2 hours a day. When I'm done with those 2,000 words, I send them to my beta readers. So then they look them over, they send them back to me with any problems, any revisions, anything that they think is pertinent. I make those changes, I hand it over to my wife edits it, and then the next day when I write 2,000 words, I send those. And so when my book is done, after 25 days, 2,000 words a day, 50,000 word novel. Okay, so I have a 50,000 word novel. Within 24 hours I've published it, because I only have to get 2,000 words edited and beta readers looking at. So every 25 days I can put out a book. And that, being that prolific is how I survive, you know. It's like, cause I live off of my books.
So when was your first book published?
2013, March of 2013. Yep. And so it's only been what is that, 12 years?
12 years,
so
yeah.
Just 12 years now.
Can you give a guesstimate as to what your total sales are today? Guesstimate.
I don't like sharing that.
How many actual books do you have out?
I've got almost 190 books out right now.
Wow.
Yeah. And
I
I can tell you that I've
In 12
just passed 1 million books sold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you can do audiobooks, do audiobooks. Audiobooks will, for every, let's see, how's this work? For every 100 ebooks I sell 10 audiobooks and 1 paperback. So you're making 1/10 of your money off of audiobooks if you can do audiobooks. And yes.
So how do you go about getting your audiobooks done for free?
For free, you go to acx.com, which is Amazon, which is audible.com. I mean, it's all under their same umbrella. And they have there's 3 different ways that you can make a audiobook there. Okay, one is that you pay the narrator per finished hour. So, and usually it's around $150 per finished hour, unless they're new and they're wanting something done, they'll do it for like $50 per finished hour. But once again, I am a cheapskate, I don't wanna spend $1,000 to get a audiobook done of my thing, you know, I wanna get it done free. That's what I do, you know, and so, the other way to do it is to do, what they call the 50-50 profit share, and the narrator will narrate your book for $0 up front, but they will get 50% of your profit from now until the sun burns out. And because they're taking the risk up front that you're only gonna sell 3 books, you know, I think it's a very fair deal, you know. And once again, with how long my books wind up being, you know, 6 hours is your magic number, you know, I make exactly as much money, even sharing half the profit, I make exactly as much money that as I do with an ebook. So I'm happy with that. But then there's the third way. The third way is what they call royalty plus. And the royalty plus is they will do it for free up front, but you'll also give them a little bit of a spiff too. So like sometimes I've got one narrator that is in such demand that she rarely has time to do my books. But if I do the royalty plus, I say, well, I tell you what, I'll give you $20 an hour per finished hour on top of the 50-50 royalty split, and then she'll do it for me. You know, because then she's making as much money as she does when she's working with these big names, and she works with some really big names, you know, so it's like, yeah.
If you have somebody that's like a radio, host, and she has the equipment, if
The author has to do that.
to do an audiobook that way, how would we get that?
Oh, that's super simple. Same exact thing. You go onto Amazon, instead of saying, pick somebody to produce my book, instead you just pick, I've got the files. And then you upload it, and you don't have to share with anybody. Then, because you own it. It's like, they're your files, and so you're basically the narrator at that point, or whoever you had do it, you know, is the narrator of that. So if you feel comfortable reading your own books, you can make your own audiobooks.
Our stuffed rabbit reads his own story.
Oh, there you go. And that's perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm working on something right now for both, if it's still around, TikTok and YouTube and whatnot. I'm gonna be having a vlog, but it's gonna be called Frank Reads. And my pet platypus Frank is going to be reading the first chapter of books. And he'll be reading all the books in my category, you know, the first chapter, plus every third one, I'll probably pick every Wednesday, he'll be reading the first chapter from one of my books, you know, and so this silly platypus is gonna be doing all that. And I've got that almost done. I got that almost done and ready to go, and I'll have about 40 of them done and finished, just to be released at certain times, so that it'll look like I'm making content when I'm really not. I've already got them done.
Do you have a picture of him drawn out of what he looks like?
I don't, but I can show you what he looks like here. Let's go to.
I see Carl in the mirror. You're in the mirror.
So are you.
Okay, so here's my Erik Schubach. I should have under photos or media something. I got all kinds of pictures of Frank in here. Let's see here. Your photos. There's Frank.
With the glasses,
There's
right?
Frank there. There's Frank there. And if anyone ever has a complaint, I actually have a complaint department. My complaint department is Mr. Meepers. And if you have a complaint, you gotta talk to him.
That's cool.
You know, Frank's always doing silly stuff. I mean, here he is, this was on Pie Day, you know, it's like, he had a banana cream pie. And here's super edity person,
Oh.
doing what super edity people do.
Oh, those cookies.
Yep. And somebody asked me once could I draw a picture of Frank? I'm like, I am such an artist, I can draw Frank.
I love it.
Yeah, I know. But there's Frank there.
I love it.
So, but that's what I do. I mean, he wishes you Merry Christmas, you know, all that type of thing. Like I say, he is one of my biggest marketing tools. Well, let's take a look. I think he just posted something today or yesterday. Let's see.
I love it.
Let's see here, post. There's Happy Valentine's. Yeah. I'll be giving a talk on marketing and social media today in Spokane. My pet platypus Frank is saying I'm going to pass out in front of everybody and he'll eat all my chocolate eclairs. And I've already got people commenting on that, you know,
Well, good luck.
mocking me, and it's like, yeah. And so use your social media,
Yes.
because you'll remember that.
Yes.
And that's the thing, you'll remember that. You won't remember if I just posted stuff like this, but here is my link to my book.
No.
But hey, look what Frank did, you know. It's like, then suddenly, oh hey, now I post, take a look at my book. They're like, oh, the platypus guy shared it, we'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
But anyway, any
Good
other
marketing.
questions? I guess that's it.
All right,
Great.
Thank
thank you very much, Eric.